Welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson, and it's been a crazy few weeks. So you may have noticed I missed my video last week, and that's because life is crazy busy. So for this video, I'm gonna do one of those rant style videos, and this week it's really just gonna be an update. So we're gonna talk about how the channel's going, we're gonna talk about my personal tanks, and we're gonna talk about ReefStock, because ReefStock's coming up and you can't miss it. So to begin with, let's talk a little bit about the channel. So the last few weeks I've been doing a lot of tank tour videos, and I keep wanting to do more of those because I have a lot of fun with those. So a few weeks ago I did Big's Lagoon. Big's Lagoon was a cool video because we got to see their tank, their setup, and these guys are getting into the hobby to the point where they're wanting to make money off their hobby. And I thought it was really cool that they brought us into their house so we could see how they're using their hobby to earn some money to help pay for their hobby, which is really cool. These guys are all about the coral, and I thought it was pretty cool. Then we saw Chad Wooler's tank. His tank is incredibly nice. Chad is maybe one of the best coral keepers I've ever met. Hands down, his tank is amazing. If you haven't watched his video, check it out. And then of course we checked out Christina's tank. Christina's tank is super nice. It's also really easy to keep, and really her setup is obtainable by anybody. So her tank is really cool, and it was a lot of fun making that video. So I haven't been doing a lot of updates on my tanks because I've been going around filming everybody else's tank. So how's my tank going? Well, as you can see behind me, it's doing really well. At least the stuff upstairs is. All the corals are doing great. Pretty much my fish problems have leveled out. I do have to say that when I started having the problems with the tangs, I really don't know what went through the system, whether it was a bacterial infection, a disease of some sort. I'm honestly not sure. But as tangs started to die, I ended up with aggression issues, and the final tang to die was my yellow tang Pinky. Unfortunately, when the balance of power changed in the tank, he started getting beat up by the purple tang. I could not catch Pinky until he was too weak to recover, so unfortunately we lost Pinky. I did eventually catch him. I put him downstairs in the frag tanks, but it was too little too late. But just so you know, I did everything I possibly could to try to catch that fish. I just could not get him to go into the fish trap. So it's really sad we lost Pinky. So I'm down to 5 tangs in this tank. That's where we're gonna keep it for the time being. It's the right way to do it. The reality is I've got a good mix of tangs. They get along relatively well at this point. So no more tangs in this tank for a long time, at least until something else eventually perishes. Hopefully that's a long time away. Some of the other stuff that's been going on with the tank is, as you'll remember, when all of that stuff happened with the fish, I dosed medication. Right after that, I had a big cyano bloom I had to treat. Now, I'm not saying one's connected to the other, but it is correlation at the very least. So I treated the cyano bloom. After I treated the cyano bloom, I had some dino flagellates end up in my quarantine, or not my quarantine, in my frag tanks downstairs. So I've been fighting dino. Dino's a pain in the butt. So I've been fighting that, and of course I ended up with a green algae bloom. So it's been kind of an issue downstairs. Now the good news is everything is downstairs. The tank upstairs is doing great, but to keep it real, there have been some algae issues in the frag tanks downstairs, and I will say hands down, part of the problem is I just don't have the time I used to work on my tanks. So doing water changes to suck out algae is something I just don't have time for. So the goal is to up the cleanup crew. I'm looking to get some more tangs, and I'm looking to get some Mexican turbo snails. I absolutely love Mexican turbo snails. They eat a lot of algae, and they're super cheap, and they have a reputation for short lifespans, but in my systems, they do really well. So I'm gonna get some Mexican turbo snails, some more tangs, and maybe some fox face to keep in those tanks. The 24-gallon nano, it's been doing much better. It's slowly been recovering. I've been slowly adding a few more coral to it. The only problem there is because of the crash, I ended up with lots of algae, and I'm fighting that. So with the algae stuff going on, I wanted to ask you guys about fluconazole. I've never personally used it and I'm a little scared to try it. But for my little 24-gallon nano, it seems like an interesting way to go. So if you've tried fluconazole, put in the comments how it's worked for you, because I'm interested, but I'm scared. So let me know how that works for you. And of course, coming up is ReefStock. March 2nd and 3rd in Denver, Colorado. You've got to go. My job has been crazy busy. As you guys know, I sell wholesale coral for a living, which means the last couple of weeks have been insanely busy. I've been getting coral order after coral order after coral order, and I've been selling the coral faster than I can get it. So it's been fantastic. So if you guys aren't planning on ReefStock, you should, because I've seen the coral that's going there and you will not be disappointed. It's incredible. So this year is going to be a lot of fun. I get to speak at ReefStock. It's Sunday, March 3rd at 1 o'clock. Show up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about my experience going from hobbyist to professional. It's been a crazy year in that I've gone from just a really overly enthusiastic hobbyist to doing this as a full-time job, and it has been the most amazing experience. So that's what my talk's going to be about, so I hope to see as many of you there as possible. I'm going to be there both days, walking the show. I hope to see all of you guys there because it is so much fun at ReefStock. ReefStock is hands down my favorite show. It's the local show. All my friends are there. I'm gonna be running around there filming some stuff. I'm gonna do a little different take on the show for my personal video. And then I'm also gonna be helping Jake film the talks this year. So all of those are getting filmed. And as far as talks go, I'm excited about mine, but I do have to say I'm a little nervous. I'm not a public speaker, and I've got to follow the great Julian Sprung. Julian Sprung goes on before me, and it feels like a new band opening for Metallica. So I think I'm going to do a good job. I'm super excited to see Julian's speech, and I really hope to see you guys there because ReefStock is a blast. So going forwards, next week there won't be a video, so you probably won't see another one here for 2 weeks. And next video I'm gonna really try to get out after that is an update on my system so you guys can see how good and bad things are going. Other than some small algae issues, the tanks are doing really well. I've, in the last 6 months or so, really made big changes on the way I keep my system, and I think it's really leveling out, and I've taken things like bio pellets off and added a algae reactor on there. I'm going to be putting hopefully some different lights on this tank, so I got a lot of stuff coming up. So keep your eye on this channel. Thank you for watching this episode of Mile High Reefers. I hope to see you guys all at ReefStock. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.